Okay, we're here about to get started. Here about to get started, everyone. So go ahead and invite your friends to this live session. Invite your friends to this live session. It's about to start in about 5 minutes. So let's
You're welcome.
Hey, Candice. Jenifer. Hey, Candice. Good morning.
For the girls.
Thank you. Jenifer is here.
I'm here.
Miss Candice Battle.
Troublemaker.
Troublemaker? I don't know about that. Jenifer is like, Candice, go ahead. We're having a buyer's class this morning.
Good morning.
Yep. I don't know how I can get this lens wider.
Kevin said to turn the phone
I
and
do.
read your messages off.
Yes, but when I turn it, it was like this. So I'm wondering if that's how people see us.
Ask Candace.
All right, Candace, I'm gonna turn my phone because we're trying to figure this out. Like this. Rotate. Because, okay, are you guys, there you go. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
See, I hope it's not looking like that.
Yeah, we just gotta find out from her if it is or isn't.
Okay.
Hold on, let me text her. Candace, I'm sending you a text. said it was sideways.
That's what I'm saying. Is it sideways? Hey guys, everyone that's checking in, we're trying to set up here. Are we sideways at this moment? Turn the phone around. Okay, Samantha.
Okay.
My sister says turn the phone around. Hey sis,
Yeah.
good morning.
Candace said same.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We're trying to,
We'll just have to share.
we just gotta share, and the further we push it away. Okay, this is better, sis? Theresa. Hi! Theresa pretty much do this every morning, but when you go live, you use your, not your phone, you use your tablet?
Depends on where I'm sitting.
Okay.
Sometimes it's my phone, sometimes it's my tablet, sometimes it's my computer. It just depends on what device is.
This won't allow me to go live from Facebook.
Facebook updated their settings, and it's not compatible with certain. Like you have to update your browsers and all this other nonsense.
Right.
It's always. I feel like it's always better to go live from the phone. Right. Personally.
Because my head is too big, so it won't fit.
And I'm too short.
So we won't fit together.
So, I got a solution for you.
The solution will be great.
Love it.
See, we're working it out. Good morning, Eva. Good morning. Good morning. We're putting it together, guys. Good morning, sister. We're trying to get this sorted out.
So you're already live.
Yeah. It's 11:30.
All right. It's all good.
It's all good.
Up.
Good morning. Good morning, Heron. Thank you for coming in. Go ahead and share the live. Invite your friends. Look at my sister. The view is not too bad. Of course, I'm in it. Plus Jenifer.
Lord.
Oh, my sister, of course.
Oh, Teresa's gonna fix us.
Teresa is fixing us, of course. She's here.
Ooh,
Almost.
good.
Almost. You might need to sit back just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to see
Yeah.
questions. Yeah, we can get in there.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can act like we like each other.
Right.
It's all good.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Here. We're here doing a live class. Huh? We're here putting it together.
Sorry, guys, I'm gonna drink my coffee. Duncan?
All right.
Anybody? Perfect.
Perfect. This way. Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. So we got it covered. Okay. Go ahead, guys. Share the live. Invite your friends in. I just want to also take the opportunity to say thanks to Jenifer again. She's awesome. Good morning, Jackie. She's here to tell you guys again everything, any question that you have about financing, how to purchase a home. She is a mortgage lender. I have been working with her for approximately 7 years or more, but we just narrowed it down to 7 years. She have helped a lot of first-time home buyers. She have helped me help a lot of first-time home buyers in down payment assistance, and also help buyers in putting them on track and how to get situated in purchasing a home. I highly recommend her. She's awesome. She can be very demanding at times, because what she wants is what she wants, and if you get it to her, she will make it happen. And she's just one of those personnel that I have trust in. If you get her what she needs, I can guarantee you I will get you into a house. Hands down. Jenifer?
A couple of the things that Byron said kind of bring to mind. I want what I want, not because it's me. I want to make sure that you make it to the closing table. So if I'm asking for something specific, there's a reason for it. And I always ask for all of my documents up front so that we can make sure we don't have a glitch. There's no issues. We want to see you guys go through underwriting, get the appraisal done, and the next thing you know, you're closing, and people are like, that was so easy. It's because we do everything ahead of time. So if you get me the documents that I asked for while you're looking for a house, a lot of times we can go ahead and get you approved already. So just want to make sure that everybody understands that it's not me just being demanding.
Oh my goodness. By the way, go ahead and share the live. We have been shared at least 24 times already.
Awesome.
Being shared, this means that you're inviting family members and anyone that you think that may be interested or this class could be of an opportunity to. So go ahead, again, share the live, invite your friends and families. We're only here until 12 o'clock. We have started a little late, so we might extend it about 12:05 if you guys are coming in with all your questions.
I think one of the things with this is, even if you are not looking right this minute,
Correct.
it's really important to get started and understand the process and prepare yourself. You may need help with credit. You might need to know where your income stands. You need to know what programs are out there. How much money do you need? Those are all things that you can start getting prepared for. So even if you're just thinking about it, you may not own a home right now or never thought that you could. We've helped a lot of people that never thought that they could own a home, and the next thing they know, they're in a house.
Buying a house.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the case. Guys, this is not a class to say, hey, come and buy a house right now, just to reiterate what Jenifer says. It's about preparation and preparing you, because I have a lot of buyers who says, hey, I am going to buy a house. I want to buy a house. I've had buyers who reach out to me 2 years ago. Hey, I want to buy a house. And I've never took the time out to explain to them how to go about it. And 2 years later, they still want to buy a house because I've never took the time out to say, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to get you into a house. So this is the class where you guys can reach out to us, ask us for what you need to get done, and we're here to make that happen.
I would say our biggest question is mostly credit or down payment. I found a lot of times that down payment and credit is normally something that we can get through because we can help you build your credit. We have people with credit that is not the best. We help them get to the point where they can purchase. We educate them on what to do to build their credit. We have people with no credit scores.
Sure.
They do everything with cash.
Sure.
You can't buy a house if you don't have credit. I mean, you can, but it's a lot more difficult. So there's a lot of education that goes into that. I feel like the biggest thing that people do not understand is debt to income ratio. One thing that I ask a lot of clients is, what is the monthly payment that you want to make? They're paying $1,200, $1,400 now. First answer that everybody says,
$1,000, $900.
Yep.
Then I'm the one who reach out to Jenifer and says, Jenifer, don't listen to what they're saying. They want to pay $900. They want to pay $1,000. But guess what? They want everything that a house have to offer. So, but she's like, then Byron, I don't understand. They said $900, so this is what I'm gonna. And again, $900 will allow you to. I'm just throwing it out there, just off the top. Say $140,000. $900 will allow you to purchase. If you just jump on Google right now and put in $140,000 into land, you will see what that will get you. And then that's when buyers reach back out and says,
I don't like this.
I don't like this. And I'm like, Jenifer, I can't sell this buyer house at $900 a month. So guys, just when you're looking for approval, just let Jenifer know that, hey, I want a nice house. Just give me, who's that? My sister. Oh, she's saying share, guys. Yes, share, guys. Yeah. And this is something that me and Jenifer go back and forth with. And she's trying to get you guys into what you want, but a lot of times I can't get you into what you want to pay because the market is just not there.
Right. I will give you scenarios. I talked to 2 clients that actually reached out from our last live session, and we went through some education on pricing and stuff. The one thing that I do for my clients is once we have an application and we figure out where your debt to income ratio is, we will go ahead and give you an idea of what that payment, that $900 payment looks like. There's a lot of things in a payment that could make your price range vary. One big thing that we look at is taxes, property taxes.
Right.
So if you have higher property taxes, you're not going to be buying that $200,000 house. You might have to buy a $180,000 house because those taxes are so high. There's a lot of education that goes into it. So I give you those scenarios, and then you have an idea of what you're looking at. So if you say $900 payment and we're looking at a $140,000 house, you come back and you say, Jen, that it's just not what I want. What payment am I going to have if I'm at 180, 200,000?
Right.
Those are all things that we work on together. So I want to go back to the whole debt to income ratio thing. I want you guys to understand that what is on your credit report is how we calculate your debt to income ratio. In one of our classes that we have, usually in-house, I give you guys a worksheet, and it tells you and shows you how to figure out what your debt to income ratio is. This is the exact same thing that I do on my computer when you do an application. Exact same thing. We figure out what your income is and what your debts are. Anybody that's taken the class should remember that sheet paper. But basically, you're going to be looking at what do you want your monthly payment to be for your mortgage? What car payments do you have? What credit cards do you have? Do you have any student loans? Child support, alimony, judgments? Are you paying on a judgment? Those are all things that you need to consider to figure out what you're going to qualify for. I do want to hit on something that we kind of talked about last week with credit. With car payments, you should pay attention to your credit score, because the difference between somebody that has a lower credit score goes and buys a car, and the payment you think at the time is comfortable, $600-700 payment. I see a lot of people like that, and it might be the price of the car, it might be the credit, whatever the situation may be. That $600 or $700 payment could be the difference between qualifying for a house and not, because if you're good credit, lower, price car, $300-400,
Right.
That $300 difference is the difference in qualifying for a house.
And Jenifer, let me sum it down in what she's saying. And I tell my family this, and whoever that's close to me, don't buy the preferred car before you buy a house. So a lot of my boys, they love it. We love the nice things. We love the foreign cars, the Mercedes, the Benz, the Lexus, and so forth. Don't buy those expensive foreign cars
before you buy a house.
Because we don't want you to be paying $500-600 per month on a it don't have to be a foreign car, on an expensive car that will kill your debt to ratio in return when you're ready to purchase a home as a first-time home buyer or as any buyer in general. So buy a nice little car that you're paying $250 per month if you need to. If you don't need to purchase a car right away, get the house first. Purchase the home first, and then you can then buy whatever car you want to buy then after.
This is a good tool to have if there's something that you need. If you know you're going to need a car and it's the decision between a car and a house, do this. Do this and see which is necessary. If you don't have the down payment to do a house, or we need to work on your credit, maybe that's something that we discuss and figure out where are you going to be to qualify.
And I'm going to tell you something personal about me. Whatever purchase I'm going to make, any purchase I am going to make, I make a phone call first. She's my mortgage lender. I use her for all my financing in purchasing a house. If I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to call Jenifer to confirm if that's feasible in what I want to do, because my goal is to always continuously purchasing homes. I love buying houses. This is what I do. I sell houses, so I love to buy houses myself. So, for example, if I'm going to buy a car, I will call Jenifer to confirm, hey, if I buy this car, that's going to put me at, say, $400, $500 per month. Am I still going to be able to purchase a house in the next 3 months? She will tell me, Byron, yes, or Byron, no, you can't. What I also do, if my taxes, I reach out to her, Jenifer, here's my taxes. Am I still within my guideline and so forth? And she's, Byron, you're good to go, you're fine, go ahead.
I will say, I mean, I don't do taxes, I don't do finances,
Correct.
I do mortgages.
Correct.
But what I do is look at your scenario. Because if you're buying a car that's $400 or $500, again, you need to look and see, okay, that we're going to have to lower our purchase price if this is the payment that I'm going to have. Or a lot of my self-employed borrowers will look at us and say, well, I make $100,000, but you know, we get the benefit of writing off all of those things. So now I'm only showing $20,000. Well, that $20,000 that you show the IRS is what you make.
Correct.
So now you have to qualify for the house off that $20,000.
Correct.
So it's a lot of education, but the debt to income ratio is huge. It's just a lot of education. It'll tell you what you can and can't afford, and it'll also kind of be in your face and say, oh my gosh, or hey, I'm doing really good. It's a visual tool for you guys to use.
Right. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you all have any question at this moment, in particular to yourself or a family member,
or what you've heard out there.
Exactly, or what you heard especially last week, a lot of people were shocked about Credit Karma.
Yep.
We're not bashing Credit Karma. We're not bashing Here to Bash it.
Great tool.
Exactly.
Great tool.
Exactly.
But again, we want to make sure that you have that mortgage score, and it's all going to be different, but at least it'll give you an idea of how your credit looks. Do you need to do some work? Do you not?
Right.
We had a couple people this week that we said, you could use a couple more points, and it's simple fixes.
Mm-hmm. But to who that's looking to purchase right now, I just want to give you guys a scenario. If you're looking to buy and you're qualified right this moment, it will take approximately 30 days to get you into a house. If you're qualified to purchase a house right now, this moment, today is what? The
13th.
Today's the 13th. If I will show you a house today, the 13th, I will write you up an offer and put in pretty much the close on the 15th of next month. And if you're qualified, if you get Jenifer all the docs that's needed, we will close on the 15th.
Yep.
Pretty much. Cash to close, if we're going, it just depends on the finances. It takes 3.5% if we're going FHA. If you're buying a second home, it could be 20%, it could be 10%, and it potentially could be 5% as well. I usually ask for you to do a home inspection.
Yes.
A home inspection is pivotal to you purchasing a home, especially if it's a house that's already existed, someone already used. I usually ask for 10 days to do a home inspection, and I'm planning on doing a session with a home inspector so he can explain to you guys what he does. So I will save that home inspection, for another time so you guys can ask him. But I'm here with Jenifer. Any mortgage questions that you guys have, she's here. She's a mortgage lender. She has been doing this for years. She's phenomenal. So if you guys have any mortgage questions, please feel free. Here she is.
Thanks. That's what I was going to ask about. Debt income ratio. If you guys want, send Byron or myself. Last week we shared our cards and it had my email address on it. If you guys want a copy of this to do it and then call me and we'll go over it, either send Byron or myself
Yeah.
a text or something, and we'll get it over to you.
You can inbox us. Actually, Jenifer, email me the documents that she had last week. I still have it in my email. Whoever that needed it, guess what I did? I just inbox it to you immediately, right to your Facebook. I didn't even have to email it to you. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you need this debt to ratio information right off the bat, I could potentially inbox it to you right away. I can even take a picture of it and send it to your inbox right after this class is finished. So if you need this, please send me an inbox saying you need a debt to ratio info, and I will inbox you.
Any other questions?
Any more questions, please?
Anybody have questions on income? I know that I have a lot of clients that may have been furloughed. We're working around that right now. I also have clients that are hourly, plus they get overtime or bonuses. That's all something that I am very well aware of. We go ahead and make sure that we'll do a verification of employment ahead of time. We want to utilize all income for you.
Yes.
If you have not had your overtime or a second job for 2 years, we need to try to get an exception, and it really depends on how much we're looking at. So I will definitely tell you, we're going to order a verification of employment. We want to go ahead and get all of that income utilized to get you the most buying power. And it takes a couple days, but in that couple days, we're getting other documents to get your file ready, and that's where we go put you through an underwriter's review beforehand to get you approved while you're looking for a property, or to figure out what you can and can't buy.
Right. At this moment, guys, the market, due to COVID, the inventory is very low. We have a very low inventory. Everything is tight. We currently have a lot of buyers that's looking for properties that's not really, and we're getting a lot of offers, multiple offers on properties at this moment. So as buyers, it's very tight in finding houses, but guess what? As your agent, Byron Somers, that's what I'm doing. I'm knocking it down. I'm finding properties for all my buyers. Trini, first-time home buyers, what's my first step?
Contact me.
Yes. Your first step is reaching out to a mortgage lender. And here I have Jenifer Hirsch right next to me. Fill out an application with a mortgage lender, get mortgage qualified. That's pretty much the first step. With you being loan qualified, then I can take you to start home shopping. So that's the first step. Reach out to a mortgage lender.
And everybody knows that I am available on weekends. If you do an application on a weekend, I still get it. It still comes to me. It still, shows up in my inbox, and I can work on it. I work from home, so you could potentially over a weekend be qualified and be shopping for a home.
And start shopping on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. So and that's why I like to work with Jenifer. For example, a lot of banks that you go in, they're closed. 5 o'clock, they're closed. 4 o'clock, they're closed. You can't reach out to no one else. I text her at 8:30 p.m. at nights. I text her at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I do get a response. And that's what I love about working with a lender like Jenifer herself. And that's why I can get her here on a Saturday morning to have a discussion with you guys as well. Okay. Yeah, we answer her, I think. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead. That's what this is for. I have a mortgage lender here with me, Miss Jenifer Hirsch. Everyone that's checking in.
Okay, so the question is, what if my gross income differs between the past 2 years? For example, maternity leave. We take that into consideration. A lot of times they will back out that and see how you've returned to work. If you've returned to work in full capacity, and we can get a verification of employment that your hours are the same and your pay is the same, they'll still go off of that. Now, for overtime, if you're in the nursing field, a lot of times if somebody takes maternity leave, we'll just kind of back out that period and average out your overtime. So if you've gone back to work and you're hourly, then we'll go ahead and just use your hours off that verification of employment. Do you help with credit? Can you send me in the right direction. Yes, I do help with credit. A lot of times with my clients, if we're iffy on qualifying, once we pull credit and see what it is, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I do have an analyzer that can tell me what can help you raise your score. And if you can't raise your score, or you haven't built enough credit, or we really need to do some fixing, there is people that we can refer you to. But a lot of times people on that border, we can help them get to, I think we've gotten somebody 73 points before to actually get them into like the 700s to qualify. So it depends on what's on your credit. That's something else that we can discuss when we have a chat. So next, anything?
No other questions as of now.
It's funny, I just saw my daughter jump on here, and one of the things that I did with them, with her and her fiance, we worked very diligently on debt to income ratio for every property, because the worst thing is putting you in a position where the taxes might throw your debt to income ratio off.
Right.
Or a homeowners association might throw your debt to income ratio off. You do not want to go under contract and find out my income wasn't enough. We weren't given enough income, or the HOA has a CDD that it makes a difference. So it's a big conversation. It's a lot of education. And that's the one thing I did with them, was educate them on how to buy, how to make those right decisions. And then working with Byron, it's nice to be able to talk to him and say, listen, they really need to stay under $2,200 for taxes.
Exactly.
Or their taxes are going to go up because that person's owned the home for 20 years.
Right.
The assessed value is so low. So that's a lot of things that go into it. Okay, so what's on the credit report does the mortgage lender look at as far as how many months of positive payment history? Normally it's 12 months of positive payment history, because you need to show some type of consistency. So if you've had credit blemishes in the past, you want to make sure that you stay on top of those bills. You want to make sure you're making those payments. And it'll be a reflection on your credit score and on your credit history. So when an underwriter's looking at it, they're like, yep, last 12 months, they paid on time, good job, not a problem. If you've had lates, it makes an underwriter a little bit more nervous, because you've had a little bit of a blemish. They're going to ask you what happened. There has to be a reason that happened, and they want to make sure that that's not going to happen again. So if it was just, oh my God, I forgot to pay,
Right.
or I got laid off from work, that's an explanation.
Correct.
They'll take that into consideration.
Correct. Credit score, but debt to ratio is an issue due to student loan.
Okay, student loans, it depends on what program we go with, on what we can do with student loans. I have closed one loan where I had a client, she had $113,000 worth of student loans. That was a lot of work. So I think we need to have a discussion about what you can and can't qualify for, and how much student loans and what you're doing with them. Are they deferred? Are they on income-based repayment plans? Are you paying on them? If you're paying on them, we can use that payment. So again, that's a discussion.
Lately, Jenifer, I have had some questions about medical bills. What's your take on medical bills?
We don't count medical bills against you.
Whoa, what you just said?
Yeah, we don't count them against you. I'm not saying it doesn't go against your credit. So if you have a ton of medical bills and they're really recent, could affect your credit score, but on a debt to income ratio.
Guys, do you hear that? I've had a lot of buyers saying, hey, I want to buy a house, but my medical bills.
It's about credit. If your medical bills are older and they're seasoned, as they say, your score is gonna rebound if you have positive credit. Now, if you have negative credit in medical bills,
that's an issue.
Yeah,
I see.
But if you have positive credit, if you have credit cards that you pay on time, if you have a car loan that you pay on time, that is going to outweigh your medical bills. I don't have to count them in your debt to income ratio. You don't have to pay them off. Now, if you have collections from credit cards, right. You have an old Capital One or a Kohl's or something, and they equal more than $2,000, you'll be paying those off, because you will not get an approval with that. It is a guideline, standard across the board.
Awesome. So guys, have you heard that? Medical bill, we can get you qualified.
We can work around.
We can work around.
Yep.
Okay, so if you have medical bills, don't take as a detour. Let's go ahead and move forward with that. Okay. Anyone else? Abdul, blessing, sir. It's a guy that I play cricket with.
Hello?
I haven't played cricket in a while.
No, you haven't.
I haven't.
I know that.
Abdul, give me a call. Let's play some game when it's already up. Doris Brown. Welcome, Mr. Brown. Okay, guys, any other questions? We start a little late. It's 12:02. Wow.
I know it goes by fast.
Go by fast when you're having fun. Yeah. Any further questions? Anything that you want to share?
The one thing that I think we'll send out too is the do's and don'ts of mortgages.
Yeah.
It'll tell you. I have a lot of people that say, "Well, I'm looking to change jobs." Don't do that when you're buying a house.
Correct.
Wait. Ask questions. Everybody's afraid to ask. A lot of clients will come to you and say, "I have questions."
Correct. But they're scared to ask.
Yeah.
They will ask me, but they're scared to ask Jenifer.
I promise I don't bite. Really.
If you all have any questions, I have a mortgage lender here with me.
Is there
Where is that?
Camille? Some programs, yes, there is for nurses. I know that there is some restrictions on if you've owned a home before.
What if you pay your credit card on time, but it's not that high?
I would venture to say if your credit is not that high and you pay your credit cards on time, it's probably because your balances on your credit card are too high. They're too close to that limit. So again, with the debt to income ratio thing, what I want you guys to look at, if you're wondering why your credit isn't high, look at your credit line. So let's say you have a $2,000 credit line, but you owe $1,180. You've almost maxed it out. They're not going to give you a higher credit score because your utilization of that is too high. They're like, you're too risky. You're not paying it down enough. If you're making minimum payments, you're probably going to end up seeing that your credit score isn't going to move as fast.
Correct.
I would venture to say that that's probably why.
So my recommendation, keep that credit card at 25%. Just my recommendation. Here is a mortgage lender. What would you say?
It depends. It depends on how many credit cards you have and how you utilize them. If you make decent sized payments, I think you could probably sit between 30 and 40 and be okay.
30 and 40.
In the analyzer that I run when I do your credit, it allows us to look and see what will give you the most benefit. And I can play with the numbers. If you're at $1,100 and you have a $1,200 limit, we'll take a look and see.
Thank you, sis. I have my sisters. They're my cheerleaders. I love you all. Samantha, Suzette. You know Suzette as Geraldine. Suzette as Geraldine. Yeah. They're my biggest fan.
I can't imagine why. Who was it? There was somebody behind. What if you work for yourself? That's fine. You can work for yourself. We're going to take what you show the IRS and divide it over 2 years. Little caveat here. If we can get you to go... If you've been self-employed for over 5 years, a lot of times we can get a waiver that says I only need 1 year business returns. So, I have a couple agents that I work with that their first couple years in the business weren't so hot, but last year was stellar.
Yeah.
It's great. So yeah, self-employed we can work with, but remember again, if you're making $100,000 and you only show the IRS $20,000, we're qualifying you off that $20,000.
So that's where you're in trouble.
Yep. So make sure that if you're going to be preparing to buy a house, you talk to your accountant or whoever's doing your taxes for you and say, listen, I'm buying a house. I don't want to write everything off.
Correct.
I need to show some income.
And if you don't have, we've seen this, make sure you confirm with your CPA.
Yep.
And make sure you know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because we have seen where CPAs are putting business together where that's not supposed to be happening.
We've had a couple clients that didn't know that they had businesses.
So
I don't know how that works, but again, talk to your CPA.
Yeah.
You know, if you're self-employed, talk to them. Let them educate you on the benefits of writing stuff off or not, or whatever your conversation is, whatever your goal is. You need to have a conversation with the CPA to say, listen, this is what I'm looking to do.
Right.
You know, if I have all of these expenses and I'm only showing this little income, is that going to hurt me?
Right.
And then if somebody's not self-employed, look at your taxes. Pay attention to what your preparer is doing. Like I said, people have found out that they had businesses that they didn't know about.
And just pause to say, this is for home buyers, but if there's any sellers that's on this live, please feel free to let me know if you would like to sell your home. This is not a live for home sellers, but if you're looking to sell your house, I'm your go-to guy as well. Yeah. Again, hey Kevin, thanks for checking in. April, thanks for coming in. We're about to wrap it up here in the next 3 minutes. But if you guys have any questions, please go ahead. Again, Miss Jenifer Hirsch, she's here. She's a mortgage lender with Envoy Mortgage. She has been doing this for 14 years. And I've been working with her for the past 7. I'm delighted to work with her. I recommend her to my family. And if I recommend her to my family, I recommend her to you guys. Okay. So we're taking about 2 more questions if there's any. But if not...
Any more questions? And you guys are more than welcome to reach out at any time. If you have questions, you don't just have to reach out here on live. You can go ahead and text us or just give me a call or send me a text. Say, hey Jen, I got a question I saw you on live and you were talking about this. Can you help me figure this out?
Correct.
Not a problem.
Correct.
How bad does buying a house hurt your credit scores? Miss Camille. It doesn't. Home buying does not hurt your credit scores. It actually is probably one of the best things for your credit scores. It is the largest purchase that you usually make, and it should raise your credit score. If you are paying your mortgage on time, you're paying your auto loans on time, you're paying your credit cards on time, that home should help you stabilize and build upon credit.
Do I have to be living in Florida to buy a house? Fabian, does that mean buy a house in Florida? Or what state are you in? If you would like to purchase in Florida, you don't have to be living here in Florida to buy a house in Florida. But you won't be able to buy as a first-time home buyer if you're not moving to Florida.
Right.
However, if you're moving to Florida, you can buy as a first-time home buyer, but you will need to show that you are also getting employment here in Florida. For example, okay, so you're in New Jersey. Are you looking to move to Florida? And would you be a first-time home buyer? Or would you be buying in Florida just to as a second home or to rent out? So there is lots of questions in pertaining to that.
I was just going to say, it's really going to depend on what his
Situation
is.
Yeah. So yeah, it depends on what you want to do. Now, if you're purchasing, if you don't have a home in New Jersey and you're buying here in Florida, you will, and moving to Florida, you can buy as a first-time home buyer, but we also need to see employment. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will need to see employment. Unless you're retired or something and it doesn't, your mom would be living there with your kids.
Yes,
would you still be staying in New Jersey? That would be the question. So the person that is on the loan will have to, if it's going to be a primary residence. Remember, guys, what did I say last week about first-time home buyer? What is that? That is just a name.
Correct.
What does it mean? What does the first-time home buyer mean?
Okay, we're still on Fabian. He says he works in Portland, Oregon.
Fabian, I think what you need to do, send me a text and I can direct you the right way. That way we can answer some of the other questions. But there's a couple different ways to do a house down here in Florida with you not being here physically. So send me a text and I would be happy to explain to you how to do that.
Yes.
What?
Do you want?
I can give you my cell phone number. It is
Go ahead.
697-5804. Okay, it's on my business cards. That's the best way to get a hold of me. So what did...
Fabian, let me even type it here.
Okay.
So...
I was going to say, you're going to be in trouble.
407.
697 5804. Okay, there's a couple other questions.
Yes. Oops. What happened?
Okay, so let's go back up. Okay, Cheryl. If my credit is poor, can I use a cosigner? Yes. You still have to qualify at least with a 580 credit score, but yes, you can have a cosigner. A lot of times, if you don't have enough income to qualify, we can use a cosigner as well. I have a lot of clients that use their parents to help them get going and build their credit and become stronger, and then we can refinance them off later.
Okay, Samson. I'm a first-time home buyer. Is the cost of the house or mortgage loan is based on my income?
It's qualifying. It's not truly based on it. So you have to qualify for the house based on the income and the debts that you have. That's why this debt to income ratio sheet is a good tool for y'all to have. So if you look at what your income is and then you look at what your debts are, if it's over, I would say anywhere from 50 and over, we need to have a discussion about how to get you qualified on that.
So Fabian is saying he will fly back and forth. So Fabian, I just text you in this live feed Jenifer's cell phone. So feel free to reach out to her. You can text her, call her. We're wrapping up right now.
We don't have, guys, just so you know, we don't have to do an application. You can call me and ask me questions and we can get you ideas about what you need to do. It's not, I'm not the type of person that says, hey, we have to do an application. We have to find out. I would rather have you educated. And if we know that there's credit issues, if we know we got to figure out income, let's do that before we pull credit and get into all of that. I want you to have the education that you need to be a well-versed buyer. I don't want you feeling like you have no idea what's going on. So during the whole process, you can ask questions. We don't have to be, doing an application to be able to talk about it.
Okay. In wrapping up, do you have anything you pretty much want to say?
No, just thank you guys for joining in.
So before I wrap up, I just want to let you guys know the whole buying process. It's nerve-wracking. Someone else, you don't know. It's nerve-wracking. We walk you through from the beginning to the end. I've never had a buyer who haven't, especially a first-time home buyer, who's buying for the first time, who haven't felt, wow, what's going on? But whatever I usually tell you is exactly how it turns out. And once we get started, I will let you know up front what to expect. And usually it just played just as, I've been doing this for 17 years, guys. And I've been doing the same thing over and over and over with a different buyer. So every month, on a monthly basis, 2, 3, 4 times per month, I'm doing the same thing over and over. So, and a lot of times the nerves, I'm saying, but I've told you this. You should expect this. Yep. And guess what? I purchase houses myself and I go through the same thing.
I just sat with an agent the other day. She just bought a house using me and she's like, I do this with you all the time.
Right.
Same thing. You tell me the same thing that you tell my clients and I was still nervous.
Right.
I hate to say that you have to trust the system.
Correct.
Byron and I have a system. I have a system the reason I have this system is because it works. It makes the process smooth later on. Candace Battle.
She's here?
Candace, are you on?
Probably not. Hey, Ruby. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Candace is one of the people that we worked with, and I've closed loans with her before. And she was still nervous. It was still nerve-wracking. But like you said, everything we told her, everything we said was exactly how it was supposed to be. It played out exactly.
This year was her third house.
Mm-hmm.
With you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Her third house.
It's just, you have to trust that that it's gonna work the same way. And if there's gonna be a moving part, we're gonna let you know. We'll let you know what to expect. Byron will tell you about going to do the inspection, and after the inspection, we go to underwriting and we order the appraisal. After the appraisal is done, you get the approval. The appraisal comes in, get your conditions in, you go to closing.
Pretty
Simple.
much. Pretty much. But a lot of the last thing. Most likely at this moment we're asking for $1,000 down. So we need to see that $1,000 up front, and $1,000 we put it in escrow. Where that $1,000 go, it go back towards your closing. So guys, if you all have any further questions, inbox us. Feel free to call Jenifer. Jenifer number is there. My number, you guys know me. So thank you for tuning in. It's a Saturday, so enjoy the weekend.
Thank you guys. Have a good weekend.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.